Look at this. Looky here. Welcome back to Health We Know podcast. If you weren't sure about what it's called, we got shirts to show you, just in case if you're watching the show and you're like, what's this show called? Oh, just look at his shirt.
Yep.
Norton's as well. His camera's a little tilted, but yeah. Thanks to Chris for these cool shirts. They're actually really nice quality and comfortable. It's
I went athletic
for just like working out and
dry fit. Right. That's right. I went dry
Pretty
fit.
Nice.
Yep. Spared no expense.
No, none of that cheap Walmart shit for us.
Barely in the budget. I got in just under the gun on the budget. So
barely. Perfect. So yeah, this is Health We Know podcast, college football podcast of all podcasts. That is Chris. I'm Brian. He's Chris Norton. I'm Brian Dulaney. So, some iteration of the names you'll see on our lower right. So today, we're back. I should say we're talking about college football 2026. To be clear, we don't have a time machine. We didn't go back to 25. That'd be cool though. We can make some money in a time machine.
They should make a movie.
Go back 9 months.
Yeah, they should make a movie of a guy that gets like a sports almanac or something, and then goes on to gets it, but he's in the past, and so he bets on these games, and it's like a whole thing, messes everything up. You can make a movie. I'm just saying.
That's brilliant.
Yep.
We should take some notes and see where we can get some Hollywood producer to kind of take us seriously. If it goes well, you could have like several movies.
You could spin off. You could probably do a Western. You could do a Western part of that.
Right.
Yep. Maybe not sports related, but spin off of going, back in time.
Right? Yeah. I've never seen movies like that.
I would do it in a Netflix series. I wouldn't do it as a movie in Hollywood. I would do Netflix series. Like they did Stranger Things and whatever. Game of Thrones on HBO Max, and that's how I would. That's how I would do it. I'm gonna do a show. I wouldn't show anything. Theaters suck now, man. We got one here local.
That's true.
In Maryville and Blount County. I don't know how it's still in business. No one's ever there. You go in, half the candy's not there. The Coke machine may work. It may be out. You don't know. The popcorn, like they popped it on Monday, and you get it like for the next weekend. So they pop a bunch of it and bag it up, and we'll just sell it in the week. It's not great. It's an AMC. It's not great.
Yeah. Which, it's funny because you live in a large metropolitan area. You think those would be popular, and like just the amount of people there are, it would be, kept up and busy all the time. But that's true. We're really getting off topic. Okay, sorry. 3 minutes in and we're already off topic. We're a little, helter-skelter, a little over the place. By the end, you'll never know what we're talking about. Chris has a couple of good ones. He says, I don't know. We come on prepared, which you can tell. And then, then we just kind of riff and just talk back and forth. And this is unlike anything you've ever seen before. Maybe good, maybe bad. Maybe shit. Sometimes maybe good. Sometimes maybe shit. So last week you talked about the Big 12 and who we think they're going to win that conference. And we're going to move to the ACC this week. And we're going to lump in Notre Dame because their schedule is ACC-ish. So, and there's not really a good place to put them because they are relevant to college football, unlike some other independents. So lumping them here seems about the right place to do that. So let's jump in and let's recap 2025 quick, and then we'll talk about what we think about this year. So let me this 25, an odd year. I mean, let's be honest, the ACC they're not competing, honestly, with other programs, Big Ten and SEC in particular. There's their schedule or the recap from last year. Miami's back, I guess. I kind of finally say that. That's fair to say.
Well,
Miami's back.
We're going to talk about them. You can make the argument. Make the argument.
Mario finally put it together. He had some help with some elite freshmen and some elite defensive line play, which will get you a long ways. in college football and football in general, I guess, if you have some dominant edges or interior defensive linemen. So Miami finished at the top, basically, but it was actually who was in the ACC title game? Was it
When it
blanking on
SMU?
it?
No,
No, it
who
was
was it? It was Miami and
Virginia and
it
Duke.
was Virginia. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Yep.
Yes,
Miami did.
yes, yes.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
right,
Jeez. Yeah.
because what? So let's just look at their. I don't have their schedule. What they had 3 losses. I forget 2 in the conference.
Yeah, they lost to. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Well, the third one's obviously Indiana. And
Yeah,
then
Indiana. Right.
right. And then was it? They lose to Was it Virginia?
I want to
They
say
lose to Virginia, did they, or was it?
yeah, but I feel like that's wrong. We should look this up to be sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want to be wrong.
No, we've never been wrong. I mean, geez, we don't want to start now. Can't even get to the friggin' schedule. There we go. Okay, the losses were Louisville. That's right, 24-21, and then SMU at OT.
SMU. Okay.
So because at that point you're like, yeah, well, that's Miami. That's what we come to expect from them. But then they, because that's not you rolled down. You beat Notre Dame at home, which turned out to be a great win. South Florida is a good win, and then beat the rivals. That's great. Then you stumble at home against Louisville, and you stumble again at OT and on the road in SMU, and you finish with some really cupcakes in reality. You beat A&M, Ohio State, and Ole Miss. Like that's quite the run. Which sure is where it comes. Where it comes in as that you beat Notre Dame, you beat Texas A&M, who was undefeated, going into they had 1 loss, I guess today. Ohio State and Ole Miss, like those are some really good, talented teams that you beat, but then you stumble and you lose to Louisville and SMU. So I guess that is maybe Miami being back. Miami, that's who Miami is historically in the last 30 years. Yeah, I guess that's sorry.
That's who Mario
That's who they are.
is.
Exactly. That's a better way to put it.
That's who he is. And your team is generally a reflection of you as a head coach. And so that's Mario Cristobal has done that his whole career. So of course he did it in Miami, and it just goes to show you, college athletics more than anywhere is you can go on a heater and win a lot of games and go way farther than anyone would ever predict you to go, because because college is all weird. And so losing that Louisville, that was a Friday night game, if we remember. What we say about those Friday night games? Weird stuff happens. Yep, weird stuff happens. SMU just caught them. You're away from home. It's just SMU. You go in there, you're Miami. You're expected to go in there and roll, and you gotta have those. I've only seen a handful of teams in history that took every game like it was the national championship game. Like every game they went into, we are going to stomp your ass, no matter who you are. We're going to do it all year. Very few teams in college ball has ever been able to pull that type of run off. They've always had a close game they shouldn't have. They need to have some luck, a bounce go their way in a game. Now they may be undefeated and win it, but during the year, Indiana had it. I mean, they had to escape Penn State, and we all know Penn State was 3-9, and they had every opportunity to lose that game.
Absolutely.
So it just shows you don't. It's hard, man. I mean, what we say, you got to show up ready to play every single time, and it's not a light switch. If you show up, and showing up ready to play is not showing up ready to play. Preparing to play through the week and then being good on game day is how you win that. You don't prepare half-ass, go out on the field and just decide you're going to play elite. It don't work that way. And
nope.
We say it over and over again. Coaches say it. It don't work that way. Focus every rep, every day, every week, every practice to be good on Saturday. Sometimes the kids, they're spending money now. They got plenty of money. They're out buying cars.
Plenty of money. Exactly. Girlfriends.
Buying diamonds for the girlfriends. Girlfriends, plural. Right?
Plural. All right.
They got family issues, and they got, maybe they got a little bit of trouble the week, or Maybe they drink a little too much Friday night before the game. Who knows? It's college,
Right.
man. And
This is
so
college, right?
that's just
And
what
that's
happens.
maybe
And
that's
then
the beauty of it, right? It's
I think
so
so.
unpure, and like the NFL guys get in trouble, but they can really get in trouble. They run over people going 100 miles an hour and
They do.
kill people. Look at serial killer and Aaron Hernandez. So that's different than like, and you don't have the same. Well, you're also mature, right? You've already done all that stuff by the time you get to the
Right.
NFL. But like you're 18, 19 years old, and you get given $12 million.
Boatloads of money. Boatloads.
Like that's generational wealth for forever. Like if you ever take a snap in the NFL, that sets you up in your family and your future family if you do it right for generations.
Sure.
But at the same time, like, dude, I'm going to that kegger with the O-line this weekend.
Dulaney,
and we got practice on Sunday, but you know what? I'll worry about SMU maybe Friday night, the day before the game. No. That's how you get beat, because that one rep you lose because you are a little tired and your hands are outside too far than inside, and you get beat, get to give up a sack, and game over. Like it's just those subtle little things like that you pay for it in the end.
And think about when you were a kid, when you were in high school. Think about when you were like in the 18 or 19. I was a kid. I can honestly say with 100% certainty, had I had $500,000 dropped in my lap at the age of 18 or 19, I would probably have the exact amount of money I have now as if that would have happened then. There would be no different in my bank account right this day, right tonight on August 18th, as if I didn't get that money than as if I did when I got it and I was that young.
Yes.
If I got it now, I feel like I'd do well with it. But then,
right.
That money would be like, I remember the time I blew $500,000 and my bank account will look exactly the same right now. That's
exactly right.
Yeah.
The first thing you're buying is a shop to work on cars, a badass boat.
Yep. All the toys.
Maybe a 4-wheeler, all the toys,
land.
The bourbon collection would increase significantly, I suspect.
My God, dude.
The bourbon and cigar collection.
It would be elite.
Second to none. Yep. Then perhaps you might think about putting some money away for your kid. That maybe.
Maybe. Nah, she can fend for herself. This is Dad's money.
That's right. Come on, pay for your lunch in school. Come on.
Yeah.
Get yourself.
Your sister would have nice clothes. I would throw her a couple of dollars every now and then.
Right.
I'll let her go to Target and shop, not Walmart, because
boy, wow.
Yeah,
that's bougie.
Right. I'm a giver. I'm a giver.
You're especially in the Blount County. That's going to be really bougie.
I would be very benevolent. I would.
Yeah.
Go to Target, honey. Hey, I tell you what.
Yeah.
Tonight we're going to Applebee's to eat.
That's right. Oh, Applebee's even. Wow. Okay.
Applebee's.
When would you splurge? When would you splurge and go to like, I don't know, go to like a Brazilian steakhouse? Would you ever splurge and do that?
Maybe. I mean, I'd have to leave Shelby home.
You might spend $100.
Yeah. Speaking of being off topic, here we go. We're spinning out of control.
Off topic. So this is perfect because there is no damn way we're going to get this off topic on SEC and Big Ten. Now, why is that?
Not a chance.
Because we ain't taking them serious. The ACC, we're not taking them serious to take those two conferences, and it just shows you we can't pretend all week that we're going to do a show on the ACC and just half-ass it. Here you are, 13 minutes in, and we barely talk about anybody except for Miami and SMU.
Yeah, who's going to win the ACC? I mean,
yes, right. Exactly right. By the way, I'm going to get this out of the way now because we always say it. How did Florida State beat Alabama last year? Can we talk about that? We don't really need to talk about it. Like it happened somehow, and that's the beauty of college football, I guess. That's all where it comes back to. Well, circle back to around where we started at. But this is why we love college football, because while it's predictable, it's very unpredictable now. I mean, the last 10, 15, maybe 20 years, you knew what you're going to get, right? You're going to get some iteration of Clemson, Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, perhaps Michigan, Oregon, some iteration of that in the final, in the playoffs, right? And especially the titles, winning titles. Last year, Indiana won a national football title. Indiana, the same Indiana team that has been the doormat of the Big Ten, essentially the entire existence of when they joined the Big Ten, like with a few bright spots here and there, but by and large, they're an afterthought. And in 2 years, they're winning national championship because college football is less predictable in some ways now. Right now, they have elite coaching. This is going to go down as some of the best coaching in college football history or sports
As
history,
it should.
perhaps. What he's done,
and money well spent too.
And money well spent, absolutely. Because the thing, NIL allows you to be able to spend money if you have the money. Like in Indiana does have the money. You have the transfer portal where kids can jump in and out seemingly no problem. Anytime they want. There's a kid in Michigan State basketball, Jackson Kohler. Would be a fifth year. He's transferring today. School starts in 2 weeks, so I don't know if he's going to go back to BYU or where he's from.
BYU?
I think maybe BYU. He's a Mormon kid, so he might go back to BYU. Right. But just to the point, like you didn't see kids transferring. Well, you could transfer, but then you're sitting out the next year. No, he's going to be playing and practicing, in a couple months and playing in games and presumably at BYU. So it allows the freedom for the kids to move around, the money, and it's just crazy because it's not even the same on the field, right? The field's the same size, lengthwise, widthwise. They're wearing helmets, the offsides and offsides. But off the field, it's so different that you can't even imagine what it would look like if someone told you, 10, 20 years ago, when we kind of thought, oh, maybe we'll pay the players eventually one day. It didn't look like this in my mind. It wasn't this out of control. It just really wasn't. I didn't think that this would be the talk we do is about NIL. Right. We talk more about NIL and how to fix that than we do breaking down depth charts. So so it's just, I don't know if it's good or bad. It is what it is, and until they fix it, it's going to be a continual problem. It's going to get worse. It's not sustainable. The coaches are saying the same thing essentially.
Well, everyone is. At one time I remember, it wasn't that long ago, everyone said on every sports show and said, of course they're paying players. It just goes on under the table. It's like Ed Orgeron said, we've always paid them, just we used to come in the back door, now we go in the front door.
Yes. Right. One of the greatest quotes ever about cheating in sports.
Coach O, man. Yeah. And this is a different type of question. And if we would have had a post basketball show, I would have asked you, especially with Michigan winning in basketball this past year.
Yeah.
It makes it really difficult to emotionally connect to the kids over there like it used to be. Now, when it used to be, you had a kid who, when they graduated, when it was a senior day, you had watched him for 4 years, 5 years maybe if you redshirted, running through, like at Tennessee, running through the tee for the last time. It was emotional when those guys left because they had poured their blood, sweat, and tears into it for 5 years. You had emotionally and lived or died with them every Saturday for 4 or 5 years. And then they're running to the tee. They hug the coach. Everyone's clapping. Mom and dad's there. Everyone's crying. It's just you were attached to them. You could buy their jersey. You couldn't. Now their name wasn't on the jersey then, but you could buy their number on their jersey. And you were connected to them. You watched them grow up from a freshman that didn't know what the hell was going on to a senior who led the team, was a leader.
Right.
You just don't have that anymore, and you can't connect to someone because if you do, hell, they'll up and leave if somebody offers them more money. And
absolutely,
if someone offered me a boatload more money to move jobs, I'd move to.
Seriously,
that's the whole gist of it.
Right.
But it's just, it makes it really hard to get. You want, of course, Saturday I'll live and die with them this year.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. As far as the Tennessee program, I will. When it comes to individual players, it's difficult now to get emotionally attached because you don't know what the hell you're going to have next year. They could just up and leave, and so it.
Yes.
And it sucks, but that's life in the NCAA football now, and it's just deal with it.
Yeah. You're so right because I still follow it, not as much. Football recruiting,
doesn't mean anything anymore.
Early mid 90s.
It
was incredible. I just was obsessed about it. Could tell you the top players in each team and the rankings and going back, 25, 30 years. Yep. And the last couple of years, it's just harder to grab it because you got kids who, and this wasn't true to some degree anyway, kids would flip-flop at the last minute because they get a bigger bag. And
Right.
you're right. How could we argue with that, right? Just because you or I want to see them in Tennessee or Michigan, they don't have the connection that we do since we were kids rooting for them, or people who went to school there and have that connections from being on campus. They don't have that like we do. So we look at like, why would you go to from Michigan to Stanford? Yeah, they got good academics, but they haven't been relevant in football in 15 years. Well, because they can pay a little bit more for a wide receiver than
Right.
Michigan was planning to play for you, right? So because you can't outbid everyone for everyone. Not even Ohio State, who has unlimited money, or that you can't win the recruiting on every player, whether it's transfer portal or incoming freshman. You just can't. But that's good because it's with a superstar roster,
Yeah.
and then of course that's
You
harder to do now because kids, if you got two quarterbacks, you got one quarterback. That second one's going to be taking a bag somewhere else next year. And that's like,
well,
there's not that development that you see kids progress from, like you said, a scrawny
right.
180 pounder to a 200-pound, corner that's, an All-American, that kind of thing. So, yeah, I guess we just have to get used to it and hope that someone puts some guardrails to make it a little more reasonable at some point.
Yeah. And you've got to put guardrails in that are within the bounds of the law, which is going to be really tough.
Yes.
You're gonna have to, like the NFL does it. You're gonna have to union it. You're gonna have to collective bargain. You're gonna have to sign contracts that actually have teeth. A
Yes.
contract don't mean jack shit for those kids now.
Nothing.
Some of them have been sued for the money. Some of them have, but
right.
For the most part, there's no guardrails, and so you have to implement them in a way where a court won't shut it down or won't shoot it down in a circuit court somewhere.
Right.
So it's going to be difficult. Like I said last week, we were on the show. We're still in the wilderness, wandering around lost. I mean, there's no search party out there looking that's going to be able to find the right way to get you out of the woods yet. There's just not there yet. We'll see it in our lifetime, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe hopefully the next 4 or 5 years, but we'll see.
I think that's probably realistic. Yeah.
When it happens, it'll happen fast. I hope it happens fast.
Yes. I think within the next 3, maybe 5 years, they'll settle down on something. Like there's a lot of ideas, and a lot of them point kind of the same direction with the collective bargaining and contracts that are binding. You can't take $2 million and just say, you know what, right. I'm going to go to Syracuse and still see. I'm out, dog.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly right.
So I guess we should talk about the ACC.
Why not?
Let's see what last year's looked like. Miami, SMU, Louisville, Virginia. Clemson is back to, I don't know, pre-Dabo. I don't know. Dabo hasn't exactly embraced the transfer portal as much as the Clemson fans would like, and it's showing up on the field, even though they're getting some good talent. It's not really translating. So here's the projections for 2026 for Bill Connolly, ESPN, a well-known writer, very respected writer. So we'll pick on his to kind of look at things and see where we think it's going to be. We're including Notre Dame because, I said earlier, they have ACC-like schedule, and there's no other really good place to put them and talk about them. We're not going to do a whole show on Notre Dame. No, sorry.
No.
This is going to be sufficient. I mean, I think we can start with them because of obviously they're going to be a good team, right? I think they got the right coach, Marcus Freeman. Let's get to the schedule. Let's see.
If Notre Dame was officially in the ACC, Dulaney, would they be the favorite to win it? I think so, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
I think so. Miami would be a close second. Then I think there's a pretty huge gap from those two when you go down to like the next ones, which is Clemson, SMU, Louisville. Those teams. I think there's a significant down. And and when we start talking about the ACC as a whole, I just did the top 5 this week too on this conference because just like the Big 12 last week, the top 5 is projected 41-18 for the year in the ACC. This does not include Notre Dame. Just for clarity.
ACC proper. Yeah.
41-18 is the top 5. The bottom 12, which are 17 teams in the ACC. So the bottom 12 are projected 71-73.
Jeez.
So Just like the
Wow.
Big 12, the top 5 is going to basically eat up the whole bottom 12 of the conference to make
Yes.
their 10 and 2s, 9 and 3s, 8 and 4s and all that. And then you go like FSU, Virginia, Pitt, Georgia Tech are all 7 and 5, 6 and 6 projections. And it
Yeah.
all gets basically even all the way down from there.
Even Steven.
Yep.
Yeah. So their schedule is kind of a joke if you go compare it to other schedules. And, it is what it is. They have to play the schedule in front of them. A Wisconsin game, this is obviously not a Wisconsin, but it has Melvin Gordon, some lead offenses, running game. They've been kind of you start with the side. We'll get to that in a couple of weeks with the Big Ten, but Luke Fickell, Happy Gilmore may not be there long if they don't get things sorted out. And
Right.
taking one on the teeth, and I think that's games at Lambeau, I'm not mistaken.
Probably. Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
right.
So that's a game you'd like to be competitive in. I just don't know. I think this is it for Fickle. I just don't see them doing more than getting by, maybe 500 team. But so then you got a Rice team is not going to move the needle. Like Michigan State's, they're still going to be rebuilding with Pat Fitzgerald, new coach. That's not going to be a game for them. Purdue, good joke. Carolina, this is Bill Belichick's last year. Does Bill Belichick make it to September or maybe October? Hope he makes
Projected
it
5
September.
and 7 this
But
year.
so I think he's going to retire this year.
Yeah.
Belichick. Stanford, like nothing. They've not been good, relevant for a long time at BYU. So here's the game we talked about last week. A bit about this is a game where this is the one place that if there's going to be a I don't know if it call it, I guess it'll be an upset because Notre Dame probably be favored, but if they're going to lose a game, it's going to be at BYU, and even then, I'm like, I need to see more BYU to believe, honestly, I guess, and so we'll have the opportunity to see that.
Right. That depends on what BYU looks like whenever October 17th gets here.
Yeah.
Which overall is a great day for football, by the way. I don't know if you've seen that schedule for October 17th. It's fire. It's really good.
No, I haven't. Do you have
but
do you have it off top
I don't
of your
have
head?
it in front of me.
Games?
No,
okay.
no.
Okay.
But no, it's a loaded slate. There was some pundits talking about it, and they was running it down. I was like, holy crap, that is good. But with BYU, if you get a BYU that's undefeated and looking really good, and that in BYU out there in Provo, we've already talked about last week, could be one of the biggest games in BYU home game history, recent history at least, since 2000, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Undefeated Notre Dame comes in there, which there's no reason that Notre Dame won't be undefeated coming into BYU. So,
no,
I mean,
absolutely not. No.
Slight favorite for Notre Dame. Pick them. If BYU is looking really good, playing really good football, and got some quality wins, maybe -3 BYU. Wouldn't that be something? There's I mean, you look at that schedule. I'm like you. It's a laughable schedule. There's 3 games Notre Dame could possibly lose, and that's it.
Yeah,
which is a double-edged sword. Because if you have to go undefeated to earn a bye if you get that schedule, 1. And 2, if you lose 2 of those 3, you might still make the playoff at 10 and 2, but you're going to be playing first round going somewhere very likely. So there's no room for error for Notre Dame. You go undefeated. If you go 11 and 1, you go 2 and 1 in those 3 games. You're still probably playing first weekend, but you're getting a host. So it's just there's not a lot of meat on there.
No. By the way, this October 17th schedule. Let me roll off a couple games here. We start at not sure the TBD is Ohio State, Indiana. Then you got about Auburn. We'll see about Auburn, Georgia, Notre Dame at BYU, Florida at Texas, Florida State at Miami, which you think that'd be good. Mizzou at Ole Miss. Then we're going down to let's see, Alabama at Tennessee, Penn State at Michigan, and then what's this one other one I thought I saw? And that's enough. Like you can't watch all those games. You need these are over a couple of days to watch all those games. So thank God for multicast on the YouTube TV. Great call. I didn't catch it. That was that good of a weekend. So,
It's late.
Won't be doing anything then.
Nope. If there's a wedding, you're going to be sick that day.
Yep. Sorry. Yep. Right.
And off topic, shame on you for scheduling weddings during football season out there. Shame. You should have to walk down the streets in Westeros in the Red Keep naked, getting yelled shame at you.
Shame.
You should have to do that.
Shame.
You should have to do that because you should never do that.
You can get married from, I'm going to say January. Let's call February. We say February to, let's say I'll give you to mid-August, even late August.
Sure.
Right. There's plenty of time to get married in there. Don't do it between September 1 and, January 5 or something like that. January 10th.
There's 30,
look at the
35 weekends that nothing is happening when it comes to college football that you could pick. There's 30 to 35 at least. Because you factor in the offseason and the bowl games and the playoffs and all that. So, but I think 35 is nice. That's and you got 35 Saturdays you can't get married in. You choose the third Saturday in October. I mean,
right, exactly. Really? Seriously,
come on.
Or the weekend after Thanksgiving, get married. That marriage is never going to last. It's never going to last.
Nor should
it. Right.
You're the reason why divorces are over 50% right now.
Yes,
it's for stupid decisions like that.
Just because you want a fall wedding with fall colors, you can Photoshop that shit in. You don't need to be there. It's nice. Get drunk in June is better than getting drunk outside in October. Somewhere up here, especially. Oh boy. Okay, so we're in agreement that Notre Dame has essentially 2, perhaps 3 games that will even like.
And SMU's
we're paying attention to, and that's the one I was thinking on the fence. Like, I'm not sure that's and if SMU walks into South Bend and wins that game in late November, I think we're going to have that. First of all, it'd be hilarious, but it also makes me think that they probably would have maybe lost one of the BYU and or Miami games as well. So we'll see on them. So come back to the schedule. Let's see here. Oops. Here's the predictions. Oops. One more. There we go. So Bill Connolly has, Miami right there, which I'm looking at this and I don't know that I disagree with his how he ranked them. And that's talking about just S&P plus offense and defense stuff. So I don't have a lot to say. I mean, I like Notre Dame and Miami's. There's obviously their schedules line up pretty well. Clemson, I just don't know anymore. They used to be part of the equation, but it's just hard to see them making a big move. I don't know. The only team I don't think they're necessarily in the top 5, but it's interesting is what Virginia Tech's going to look like with a new coach. What are they going to look like? Maybe not year 1 necessarily, although they're getting some talent there. James Franklin's bringing in some talent. I just don't know if that's going to translate to year 1. But it's an interesting thing to keep an eye on.
I got them 5th in the ACC.
I could see that. I did.
I got them. I got them 5th in the ACC finishing. I got Miami 1, Clemson 2, SMU 3. Right, I moved SMU up because of quarterback play. Yep. Louisville 4, Virginia Tech 5. Virginia Tech. So and you can't see it on this graphic here, but he has a graphic up that percentage of returning snaps on each side of the ball. I didn't realize Virginia Tech, they returned 71% of their offensive snaps from last year and 67% of their defensive snaps. That's now granted, it was not a good football team, but it's a lot of people.
Right.
They'll have to be better coached now than they were because
I was just going to say,
right. Because it got to go up from there. He got transfers in. He brought a quarterback with him from Penn State. Hasn't played a lot, but he brought one with him.
Yep.
Grunkmeyer from Penn State.
Yep.
They go, there's a world, if you pull up their schedule, there's a world where they're 7-0 going to the Clemson game.
That would be pretty remarkable. Yeah, actually, let's pull that up.
Yeah, pull up their schedule. Yeah, look at it because but then now the back half of it. I mean, the last 5 is brutal, so that they catch the back half pretty rough.
Sure.
But I mean, if they go to Clemson, 7-0. All of a sudden, you're maybe looking at a 8-4, 9-3 Virginia Tech first year, which the Hokies will take that right now.
Oh,
you give them that right
seriously,
now, they're
for what
taking
they've
it.
had.
So, yep. So they finish
Let's pull
off
up their
the year
schedule.
with they finish off the year with Clemson, SMU, Stanford, Miami, and Virginia. Well,
Wow, okay,
that's tough. That's a tough last
good
5.
grief.
So
Yeah,
Clemson,
right.
maybe who knows what Clemson is. SMU is we've discussed completely beatable. Stanford's picked bottom of the league. Virginia's picked around the top 5, 6, 7 in the league, and then of course
7,
Miami,
yeah,
who's
right.
going to be really tough at Miami. So I mean, look at that schedule.
That's
Who before
that, when you
Clemson?
look
I
at it,
mean,
you're right. Perhaps Pitt. I don't know. The trip to Cal, middle of October might be.
maybe,
It's always one of those things.
maybe.
Like, but like, hey,
But
you're going to Maryland. That's not a drive. That's
yeah,
across town. BC's, not been great for quite a while either.
picked
Pitiful in
4-8
some
this year.
way, some years.
Projected 4-8.
Yeah, under 5 wins, I think, is a lock. Yeah, like I said, maybe Pitt, Georgia Tech. Yeah, I mean, I think
There's a world. They're 7-0, and everyone's
yes, there
talking about what a
absolutely
great
is,
job
right.
James Franklin's doing at Virginia Tech, going to that Clemson game.
Yeah,
And depending on what Clemson looks like, just saying.
yeah. Well, exactly, right. Yeah, we have 3 of the last 5 on the road against the best, 3 teams
Yeah,
in the conference.
it's backloaded.
That's a team. Yeah, that's a team that's an 8-win team, I think.
Right.
You're right, though.
Well,
if they get through Clemson, that'd be
so
crazy.
you're
to have
saying.
them.
So what you just said, they're an 8-win team. So let's say in the scenario that I put forward there, let's say in the world they get to Clemson 7-0.
Yeah.
There's 5 games left. What do you think they do? I think they do better than 1-4 in their last 5 games.
That's true, because when I look at
do.
Stanford and Virginia,
Yeah.
both home games, those should be wins. Yeah, I think 7's probably the floor. Well, I should say 6 is probably the floor. 7's realistic first year. If you get 8 wins, you should get 9 wins. If you're that good to get 8 wins in this schedule,
that's a good point. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. It's just if you can somehow split or win, go 3-2 in those last. You need to win one of the Clemson, SMU, and Miami games. If you can win one of those and then take on Stanford and Virginia, that's a hell of a run.
It sure is.
That's like, we made the right hire, and depending on what Penn State looks like this year, they may be like, maybe we just pulled the trigger a little too soon.
Right.
How many years?
Well,
I don't know. Penn State will be different. Yeah,
Penn State will be different. But Penn State is looking to make the playoff and go try to win a title.
Yes.
Virginia Tech would love to do that, but you've got to figure at Virginia Tech, you kind of know what you are. Say who we were talking about a couple weeks ago, last week, that that's who you are. Utah. Same kind of the boat as Utah is. You got to just realize you're an 8-4, 7-5, 10-2 some years when you get your seniors, and maybe you hit on some transfers. Schedule's nice. Yes. Maybe a 10-2 year. Are you going to win the whole thing with Virginia Tech? Probably not. But if you're James Franklin and you're sitting there, I can get this team to 10-2 once every 4 years, and maybe make a playoff once every 4 years. Virginia Tech, he'll retire at Virginia Tech if he does stuff like that, and he ain't got to win a title.
That's a lifetime contract kind of place.
Yes, it is.
No, exactly. So, no, I'm right.
And I mean, you can.
Yeah, if he can
maybe play for the ACC championship.
Conference is right for someone to take over it too.
Right, it is. Yeah, well, it's right for someone to be to take over and be in that top 3 every year. Be right there at the top 3 every year. You're not going to overtake Miami because you're just not going. You're just not going to do that.
No, you're not going to get the talent. You're not going to get.
You got a long way to go to overtake someone like Clemson, but from 3rd spot down, And if Clemson starts really slipping and sucking, and Dabo starts to get ready to leave, and all that, of course they're not going to fire Dabo. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But
No,
you got
right.
to think that they could, if Clemson fail, someone could ascend to that. It's not a deep league. We've already looked at. We talked about the records a minute ago
No, no, not at
combined.
all. That it's
You
not
could
like
ascend pretty
yes,
easy.
right. Yes, absolutely right. Yeah, exactly. With
Yeah.
just call it what it is, a favorable schedule in the
Yeah.
first 3 quarters of the year. You take advantage of that, and this is it's an interesting. That's you agree they're an interesting one to keep an eye on. And I bet you're right. If it's mid October and the pundits are maybe we should more about Virginia Tech and what James Franklin's doing there to turn them around and
Yeah.
bring them back up to where Frank Beamer had them, 15, 20 years ago, relevant. And
Yep.
yeah, because that conference that's weak. I mean, that's just the way to put it, honestly, right? As far as football goes. So there's a few games here that we'll highlight.
The projections for FSU 7-5. That's interesting. That's not going to save Norvell's job.
No.
If you're the AD at
Norvell.
FSU, Dulaney,
Yeah.
what does what's the win total? What does FSU have to do this year to not fire Mike Norvell? What do they have to do? If you're AD Dulaney, I got to see this, and you get to stay. What is that?
Yeah. Let me look at his schedule here, because although it shouldn't matter because he's on borrowed time anyway.
Right.
Just pulled up for.
Well, while you're pulling it up, for me, it's
All
make the
right,
playoff.
so but it doesn't matter because it's make the sure. Yeah, if they somehow manage to get to is 9 wins the floor, well, he could keep his job and they look confident. If they say they don't make the playoffs with 9-3, which it's, I think we might see multiple 9-3 teams potentially in the playoff go in the future. I don't see him going 9-3 necessarily here with this schedule or any schedule. Like, although he did beat Alabama last year, so I don't know how he did that. But so you got your second game of the year is in your third game. You're looking at 1-3 immediately. If they,
well, I mean, you're probably gonna lose to Central Arkansas.
They'll probably get by. I'm sorry, 1-2. I'm sorry, I meant to 1-2 the first 3 games. They'll beat Central Arkansas, Virginia. I wouldn't, they didn't do it last year.
No.
Friday
At
night
Louisville
road games. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not Louisville. Miami, it's not happening. Clemson, probably not happening. I don't think he makes it to mid-October. I think that they just pulled the trigger by, let's see, so they're looking at 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. You're looking at like 3-5, 3-6. I don't know that they let him finish out the season.
I think you're probably right.
Florida or NC State, Pitt.
Yeah, I think you're probably right on that.
I don't know, because they need a home run hire, and you don't make a home run hire by firing your coach the last and waiting for everybody else, and everyone's in the same ballpark. And Florida State has some history; they can pull in talent from Florida, like they have resources. They've struck out some coaches here lately. They're hungry to get back and being relevant again, and they need to make the next hire has to be a home run. Otherwise, they're going to just be in mediocrity forever. So getting their foot in the door for all the big names or whoever they want, and that's reasonable. Like if you're a coach, and it's not like would Central Arkansas or SMU's coach go to Florida State? Probably. That's a step up for a lot of teams. Like maybe let's say on this schedule here, Cristobal's not going there. And DeBoer's not going there, but like everyone else on that schedule's coach would probably take that Florida State job. Like if you look at I don't know, obviously not Florida's because it's new, but it's just it's
here you go.
They have to make a hire that makes sense.
I got one for you here. Okay, so this is what kind of crazy world we live in. That if FSU would go out and hire the Alabama head coach, they wouldn't like it.
No, you're
No,
right.
because they already beat him, and they may. And what if they go beat him again in
Right.
Tuscaloosa? Now, talk about a seat that gets hot fast. Kalen DeBoer
Yeah,
lose that
boy,
third game
that
in the
may be
FSU.
his. You know who's happy? Like Luke Fickle's happy about seeing that. A lot of guys happy about seeing something like that happen. It's like if you got some political thing going on, you're just hoping for a school shooting or something, anything else to distract an earthquake or something else to distract the news.
Well, I still believe that the reason FSU was not in the head coach sweepstakes last year is because there were so many damn high majors last year that was in for head coaches. FSU wanted no part of that Shark Tank.
Sure.
And like, we'll just hang on to this guy. Next year, it can't be any more teams next year. It has to be less than what it is now.
Sure.
Let's get in next year
Right.
when we can spend the money and get a good guy and not battle LSU and Auburn and damn, who else? Michigan, Penn State,
UCLA,
UCLA,
but it's relevant. Yeah, right,
right. Virginia Tech, Florida.
Right.
I mean, I mean that's a fucking who's who.
Yeah, and this ain't Florida
teams.
State from 1990s either that are just dominating, and they have the resources and the cash and the panache to be able to say, no, we're the top dog. People want to come here.
Right.
We're going to get Deion Sanders. Well, that's not going to work out very well. Probably
not anymore.
Well, he might be available though. He may be available.
A couple years ago, yes.
Yeah.
Now, no way.
That's so much. No way. Yeah, he's not making it the season. If he does, this is it. Nah. This is maybe his health won't even allow it. Yeah, this is. But if you're a Florida State fan, like, man, it's hard to think that you're like, we can't compete with the big dogs anymore with like getting the best coach or coaches, even great assistants. Like, the answer is no. Their AD, I guess, wisely realized that. Although it's like you're just spinning your wheels for one more year, and like, I guess the contracts, it is what it is. You're not going to get out of it. You're just hoping that he pulls a Hugh Freeze, and they find some contraband on him, and they can fire him for cause and
fire him with cause, and they got to owe him that money. Yeah. Speaking of firing,
that's what they're hoping for.
So Clemson, Dabo, $57 million is the buyout. I didn't realize it was that high.
Jeez.
Yeah,
I didn't either.
57. They're projected 8-4. I mean, if you're Clemson, is this what you are now, an 8-4 program? I mean, you were playing for national championships and winning them not too long ago.
Not long ago. No,
and now you're projected 8-4 in the ACC, and you're going to start a quarterback that's thrown for 596 yards and 4 touchdowns in his entire career. You're going. Oh, and by the way, you get to go to Lane Kiffin's opener at night at LSU for the first game.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
That won't be crazy or anything.
and by the way, I'll be a huge Clemson fan that night. Let me just say.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Right. I'm patting rocks and whatever else they got to do. The Clemson fight song. The Clemson stupid fight song. And absolutely. I mean, so 8-4 is what they're picked at. So, I think LSU's an L, then if I just look for the L's for sure, LSU, Miami, I'd say
for sure L's. That's about it on that
probably, yeah, for sure. You throw Virginia Tech in there, potentially see what they look like,
Yeah, who knows?
Otherwise, this should be not a 7-5 season like last year. They should be up there 8-9 wins with this schedule. And honestly, like, if you're an LSU or a Clemson fan, is anything less than 10 wins and a playoff berth, they're not going to fire him, like you said, because of the money. No. But like, just you're going to lose more and more interest because you've seen the writings on the wall. He's not embracing the portal and those kinds of things. Like, he's just kind of a dinosaur at this point.
Yeah, the college game's kind of outrunning Dabo, and it's leaving him in the dust.
Right.
And I'll go ahead and say this for Clemson fans. You could go to LSU on that first game and get your ass handed to you and still win 8 games, 9 games. That won't mean
Yep.
anything that night. That it will.
Right.
I will be very impressed if Clemson can go into LSU at night, Lane Kiffin's first game. Sam Levitt's there playing quarterback now with the talent they brought in from the portal and just talented LSU roster always has always been. And you go in there and you win that game, that's huge. If you could just stay within 2 scores, I'll be like, that's a
you
good
keep
job.
competitive. That'd be impressive. Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good job because that could get out of hand really quick at night there. So just if you're Clemson
100%.
fans, just you might take it on the chin first game, but that is not going to be indicative of how your year could be, unless you have a lot of injuries or something during the game. But that is not be indicative of how your year could be because you go take it on the chin at LSU at night in Lane Kiffin's first game. That's not going to be a good barometer for you because that's very few teams in college football would go in and win that game this year. Very few.
Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. It's tough to win at LSU at noon on a, in the middle of Brian Kelly coaching in the middle of October. The opening game at night, Death Valley? Are you serious? Death Valley versus Death Valley, I guess. You look at the schedule, and the more I think about it, is that look at the schedule, how it lays up. Now, you got to go to LSU. That's tough. Like you said, if you put an L right there, that's not unreasonable. That's obviously predicted. But then you look at the rest of the schedule, and they have to travel to Cal. You get Miami at home. You get some cupcakes at home. You get Virginia Tech at home.
Who knows?
Florida State's not a difficult travel. Syracuse, that's maybe the second worst travel. Duke is pretty damn close. So their schedule lines up that they're not crossing time zones a bunch of times. They cross one time zone? Not 2, I guess. But as far as it goes for distractions and you got to travel to Hawaii or, whatever, you play a game, or if you're Miami playing at Oregon or something like that, there's nothing like that other than that one Cal game, which was Friday night, by the way.
Yeah.
Did you see boy. That? So, careful, Dabo.
Yep.
And he plays Friday at Duke later in the year.
You heard it here first, Dabo.
I consider rescheduling those or not. Have them but not telecast. I better hope ESPN's truck isn't working. They can't telecast the game. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe someone the AD has a heart-to-heart with Dabo and said, "Look, thanks. Trevor Lawrence got you a title. Sean Watson got you a title, but I don't think we're gonna be. This marriage is about to end. So
here's 57 million reasons. You should be happy.
Right. Yeah. Right. Go back to Bama as an analyst. Go back home and be an analyst for Taylor DeBoer and whatever you want to do. You had a good run. You won titles. So, yeah, Clemson, they're just so – I don't know what to think of them. We'll know very little about what they have. Let's see who's their quarterback there.
Well, they returned 46% of the offense this year, 61% of the defense. The defense should be okay, but they wasn't good last year. But they had a lot of injuries, so we'll see. And that LSU, I said again, bears repeating that first game against LSU. If you go in there and competitive, you have a chance to win that game in the fourth quarter. Competitive in the fourth quarter. If you're a Clemson fan, we might win 9 games this year. You go in there and get run out by 40, that doesn't mean anything. You might still win 8 or 9.
No, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
that's a good point with that schedule. And I agree with you. So Christopher Vizina is going to be their odds-on favorite for their quarterback. I guess they could really tank, just
they can mail it
end
in.
up a 7-5 again. If just they mail it in after that game, we'll see what they're made of after the LSU game. If they're uncompetitive, we'll see what they're made of because they get Georgia Southern, then they get Carolina at Cal, then they get Miami. The first week of October. So Dabo's not getting fired mid-year, nothing like that. But there may be a handshake. It's nice working with you. Yeah, here's 57 mil. Can we get you down to 50?
Yeah. Yeah, we want to save some of this money for the portal. Maybe the next coach will embrace it.
Exactly right. Right. Yeah, exactly.
Out of,
that'd be a stinger.
out of the field, the field of 12, the FSU down through Stanford. One team I got a star next to only because we play them second game is Georgia Tech.
Tech.
So,
yep.
They bring in Fernando Mendoza's brother to play, who was fantastic with limited snaps he got at Indiana.
Absolutely. He was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. He could run around, got some wheels. They bring in Justice Haynes, who is making his rounds, right? From Bammer up to Michigan.
Yes, he is.
Only, played like, half the year or so up at Michigan, something along those lines, was hurt, was out, and then transferred to Georgia Tech.
Towards Heisman kind of territory with the numbers he's putting up, the big runs and stuff. That's
dangerous
huge.
team. Dangerous
Absolutely.
team.
They're going to be able to run the ball too.
Yep. And they're going to be tough. They're going to be hard nosed because that's Brent Key. That's what he is.
Yes.
So they're sneaky. And the Tennessee game, second game of the year, is going to say so much about the trajectory of both Georgia Tech and Tennessee.
Both teams. Honestly,
both teams,
right?
That's a huge game. It's at night down there, 7 o'clock, 7:30 kick at Bobby Dodd. Apparently, both teams had a little bit of a riff against each other and a little bit of back and forth because of away jerseys. Now, if you know about college football, Georgia Tech likes to wear white at home, like LSU does.
Yes, they do. Yes.
Tennessee was adamant, we want to wear white there. You're not wearing white too. So that's still being worked out.
Okay.
Yep. It's trending, them wearing the gold helmet and the gold jerseys, and Tennessee wearing the all white, or maybe the orange breeches. Maybe they bring those out. But that was a whole thing of a back and forth between those two administrations, is what jersey combo are we going to do? I don't know how they decide that. I've looked all over VolQuest to see if I could, how is that decided? Right. Like, who makes the call on? There's got to be a rule or a something.
Yeah.
Or is it just,
it used to be just pretty
understood?
Yeah. Like, you wear the home team wears the dark color, and that's.
And what have we said, Dulaney?
Clearly, what's Oregon do, though? Oregon CA is a joke.
Well, what have we said? Matter? Who cares anymore? Both teams wear whatever the hell you want, as long as you're not white and white, which is what the animosity here was.
That'd be hilarious. So I'd like to see that.
Not me. That'd be terrible. Imagine being a quarterback.
No, not being selfishly. No.
Yeah.
It's a 50-50 ball every time you throw it up, isn't it?
Every single time. It's like when me and you played NCAA last year or year before, and you were Michigan, I was Tennessee, and you had snow. And when my guys got like 5 yards down the line of scrimmage, they disappeared against the snow because it was all white jerseys. Like, where shall I throw the ball? There's no one to throw the ball to
now. Didn't think that through very well. We should bring both just in case. Yeah. I don't think it'd be sort of blasphemous, but can they bring up the all blacks and the orange helmets on the road?
Awesome. That'd be awesome.
Inappropriate for not doing it at Neyland, but be kind of slick.
What about, here you go. What about you bring both your home oranges, jerseys and pants, and your away whites, and Georgia Tech has their all whites and their gold and gold. They probably have gold breeches too. And you coin flip to get to decide which ones you want to wear first half, and then you switch it at halftime for the second half.
Brilliant.
How about that?
That's what I was actually going to say. Like, everyone takes turns. We can switch every quarter if you want. What's it going to be on? It's going to be on ESPN. Shit, there'll be plenty of commercials. You have time to do that.
Sure. Absolutely. All
extra 10 minutes between quarters. All right. If it was Fox, you'd have time to do about every other play, because those games cost about 4 hours of your life. So look at Georgia Tech's schedule. Like, that's Colorado team's going to be a joke. They get at home. Tennessee, like game. You just talked about them. It is.
It's an interesting first game.
I feel like I just can't see Colorado doing it, being relevant or doing anything with what they have. Like, they got a couple kids that are nice, but it's over. That honeymoon's over. It's been over for a little bit now.
Yeah, I think so too.
Of course, they got Mercer at Stanford. Nothing. Like, look at that schedule. That Georgia Tech at Virginia Tech, the middle of October. That's an interesting one. That'll be one worth watching. Both teams could very well be ranked by then. Then you get Boston College, at Pitt, Louisville, at Clemson late, and then, of course, you get the Georgia game late. So,
yeah, which is
that a 10-win team?
no way.
How do you
No
could you
way.
squint and get them to 10 wins?
No, I don't think so. Not with the roster. They lost a lot. And now,
That's
if
true. Yeah.
I could squint and see them getting to 8 or 9, but they have to win the Tennessee game.
Right.
And then Justice Haynes and Mendoza have to be superheroes. They have to be like Avenger level players to be able to get to will that team to get there, because they're going to do absolutely everything, because there's not many weapons.
Yep.
The defense was gutted. Offensive line's not supposed to be good. They're not supposed to be a very good team. The projection on them this year is 6-6. That tells you that's their projected win total is 6-6. Yeah, that's what Conley's got them projected. So just the roster's not great. They've brought in a couple of really good transfers. Well, but it's a guy that played backup his whole career to his brother, and it's a guy that's been hurt most of last year coming in. So you don't know what you're going to get. And so, you know, if you win the Tennessee, you win the Colorado game, you win the Tennessee game. Now all of a sudden, Mercer, Stanford, now you're 4-0 going to Duke. Say you win that, 5-0 at Virginia Tech. Who knows what that is? Say you drop that, that's 6, or it's 5-1. BC sucks. 7 at Pitt's tough. Louisville's tough. At Clemson, Wake, and Georgia, you might find a couple. Right. Yeah, so maybe you get to 8. I think 8's about the ceiling. I think 8's.
That's the ceiling. Yeah.
Unless they play. Yeah. Both players have to be in New York at the end of the year to get that team to 10 wins.
Right. Sure. And I think we kind of saw last year, like they had elite college quarterback play and running back play, and it still didn't translate to an incredible season. They had a good season, for Georgia Tech standards, but you're right. I'm overrating those two, Mendoza and Haynes, that they're going to just be perfect and carry the team. And
they'll have to be to get there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 8's the ceiling. Sure. Probably 5 is the floor, would be my guess.
Right. And especially that's last couple, 3 of the last 4 games being Louisville, Clemson, and Georgia.
Tough, man.
That's going to be tough. Yeah. I'm smoking crack. They ain't getting the 10 wins. I like Brent Key. I just like him. I like who he is. I like what he's doing there. I think it's cool to have another relevant ACC team,
I think so too.
regularly. And, maybe they're just not there yet. I mean, they've got a couple. They actually recruited a 5-star offensive lineman last class. So they're trying to spend some money. But if you can get one kid like that. But one 5-star offensive lineman is not going to make a difference between 8-4 and 11-1 or something like that. You need the Jimmies and less Joes. You need the Faison Brandon rather than Mendoza's brother. Maybe they'll translate, but
it's really tough. Yeah, it's tough to forecast how they're going to be. You're relying on Haynes to be healthy all year, which he's not shown the ability to do that.
All right.
And just there's going to be growing pains with Mendoza having the full-time football and people being able to scheme him up, because they didn't have to the last so many years. He's just playing behind his brother, so you didn't have to scheme him up. You didn't even know who he was. You just knew he was the good quarterback's brother.
Right? Yes, right.
So it's hard. So you get full-time snaps and playing Colorado. That game will be. I'm going to watch that game just because I want to see how Colorado is and Dion, and I want to see Georgia Tech play live against someone and see how they are. That'll go a long way for me predicting week 2 when you travel down there.
Exactly.
Because how they look. So we'll see.
I agree with you. Of course, I'll watch every friggin' game I can the first few weeks, right? Just because it's like, you're ravenous for college football, sitting there watching Thursday night games. And
second week for you, especially.
Second week, especially, right? Exactly.
It gets real second week for Michigan.
Very quickly. Yes, it does. Very quickly. So Miami theory should be the top tier with Darren Mensah coming down and taking over for the 17th year senior. What was his name again?
Poor Carson Beck. Game's on the line. I'm going to throw it to the other team. Let's just.
That's right. Yes. Watch this, coach. Watch this.
Yep.
No matter what, like Miami, is Miami the only team that could make a run at a playoff run, I should say, assuming they get in the playoffs? Is that the only team that you can see? Like, I think they can make a run
at
at
the
it
ACC.
again.
Absolutely. They're the only team
Yeah,
you point
is
to.
anyone else?
Yeah, they're the only team you can point to say they could definitely get in the playoff, and they could also win the whole thing. We said it last year
Yes.
when it started.
Yes.
Miami can win the whole damn thing. Don't think they can't, because they can, and they almost did. But
yes, they almost did. Right.
That's Miami this year too, and I think they're better at quarterback. I think they're way better at quarterback this year than last year. You take Mensa and put him on last year's team, they win that national championship.
Yeah, you're right.
Outstanding. Yeah. He is so good.
Yep.
And they're going to get better at quarterback. It's just the only problem is he's about a year too late, because the defense last year was elite, and you don't get them this year.
Yes.
They'll be good.
You don't have Mesidor and what's his name on the line.
But you got Malachi Tony and you got Mark Fletcher.
Tony. Yes. That's a pretty good. That's a pretty good trio decent. Of wide receiver, running back, quarterback right there. Is there much better than that in the country? You know, you could say Ohio State with Jeremiah Smith, Julian Sayin. You know, I know Bo Jackson's a good running back. I don't think he's better than Mark Fletcher. You know, like
no, he is not.
You know,
there's not many backs in the country I'd take over Mark Fletcher. Not many.
No, exactly. He's proved to be the beast, and you know
he is so good.
Kudos to us. We called that out, and he carried them. No. All right, so that's the ACC. I think you know we spent more time talking about random shit and hypotheticals and Back to the Future movies. No one's ever made one of these movies, I know, but please don't steal our idea. And
no copyright infringement, you assholes.
Right. That's right. We can make sure we got all these covered. We talked about Florida State somehow beating Alabama. We talked about the NCAA being a joke. We talked about NIL being curbed. What else do we hit? Our usual bullet points. Those are the big ones.
Those are the big ones.
Yeah.
Bash NIL a little bit, which you have to do. And that's about it's ACC. So
yes,
these previews, the last Big 12, I think we went way more in depth on the Big 12 than we did the ACC this week, and I think for probably good measure, because those are very comparable conferences, and top to bottom. In a tournament, I would take the Big 12 over the ACC if they played head to head.
Absolutely, absolutely agree.
Yeah, and so even though they're top heavy, just like the Big 12, we talked about the records. But it gets real next week as we move on to the SEC. So we'll be breaking that down pretty in depth, because that's a very, very deep.
That might be a 2-hour show.
Teams. It could be. We're an hour and 7 minutes, and we barely scratch the surface of the ACC, because I think we're scratching. So
yeah, we can fill an hour with lots of nonsense and some sports filled in there. It should be the other way around, but sometimes it's not, right? Because we're hell if we know. I mean, look, the shirt says it. If you forgot, this is what you're watching. If you're like, oh man, what am I watching? Oh yeah, those two jackasses. Okay, yeah, that's right.
This is our show. We do whatever the hell we want.
That's right. Up. They don't have to watch it. Probably won't.
Yeah.
Couple shout outs. We'll see if Steve Buy's watching, because today is Brian Lane's and Robbie Tackett's birthday. So happy birthday to you two. One of those two is 50 years old. I won't tell you which one. So, all right. So we have talked ACC. We're pretty comfortable with our picks there.
Yep.
Now we kind of did a lot of off topic, but now we're going to get to still topic of football, but not ACC, not ACC specific.
No, not at all. Two things, Dulaney, tonight we want to close the show on. One, that's near and dear to your heart. Let's talk about a Penn State University.
Actually, you know what? Before you do that, there's one thing I wanted to ask you, and this is sort of big. I'm sort of burying the lead a little bit here. True or false? Notre Dame is the only undefeated team rolling into the playoffs.
False. I think they find a loss somewhere, because just Marcus Freeman. I love Marcus Freeman. I just feel like they get one somewhere, whether it be BYU or Notre Dame. I think they go 1-1 in those two games. BYU and Miami. Sorry, BYU Miami.
Yes, I figured. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. They either lose to Miami at home or go to Provo and lose to a good BYU team who I picked to win the Big 12. One of those two they drop. 11-1 roll in, hosting a playoff game.
Let me ask you this a different way then. Is there an undefeated team in the playoffs?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
And do you have one on top of your head that you're pretty sure about?
No, I mean, I there's like 3 or 4 I could see doing it.
Sure.
I mean, they have the rosters to do it.
Sure.
Ohio State has the roster to do it. Texas has the roster to do it. Georgia has the roster to do it. Not the schedule, the roster.
Right. Those are different things.
Right.
Yes. Oregon has the roster.
Oregon has the roster.
Well, you're getting ahead of ourselves, but they certainly have the best roster under him, at least.
And one of the best quarterbacks.
Yes. Right.
And
but
so
they played some games, man. They play. We'll get to that. I know we're kind of excited about those. Well, you see already, we're kind of itching to get an SEC and Big Ten. So all right. So I think that perhaps there will be one team of all the ones we listed that didn't take an L somewhere. And it's just sort of like we're used to that being like, oh, you lose a game, you're FC next year. That's nice. It's not like that anymore. Like that's, you can drop it. Like Michigan's probably not going to make a playoffs unless there's some miraculously big jump from Bryce Underwood's play, and their schedule's a nightmare. But it's nice to be like, well, they can lose the Oklahoma game and still, have a good season, a relevant season.
Sure
maybe make a run in the Big Ten. Maybe a playoff if they can squeak by some of these tough games. They got to play IU and they got to play Oregon on the road, and they play Penn State, they play Ohio State, of course. So, it's not likely. It's not impossible. Yes, exactly. Right. So,
for Michigan to get to 10-2 to be in a playoff game, they have to beat Oklahoma second weekend.
Yes,
that has to happen for them to even have a shot at doing what you just said.
100%, absolutely. So, because of that, I guess my point basically was like, if you lose the second game of the season, it's not over anymore like it used to be. You still have opportunities to get in the playoff and make a run. It's not going to be, you're not one of the best two. Well, so you're out, which is good now. But it's also like we're seeing some teams like, why are they in the playoffs again? Getting hammered.
Right. It's still not the best 12.
No, exactly right. It's closer.
It's not the best 12.
Right. It's closer to being. It's more entertaining. It's closer to being more fair, if there's such a thing as fair. But all right, I'm sorry, I sidetracked you. The floor is yours. Yes.
Yep. So, near and dear to your heart, let's talk about a one Penn State University. For those of you who don't know, there were 14 people arrested in a cocaine ring at the University of Penn State. 14 people, 2 fraternities, Sigma Chi and Delta Upsilon, I guess is the fraternities. 2023, 2024, 14 people are arrested, a son and a father. Which
I didn't see that part of it.
I'm all for doing the activities, father-son activities. Maybe not dealing coke out there or whatever and running
fishing. Playing some baseball, golf. Playing catch. Hey, Dad, you want to have a cocaine catch? Or I don't.
Right. Hey, Dad, you want to do cocaine from New York City down to Penn State, and fraternities, their pledges were having to cut cocaine and package cocaine as part of the hazing process.
Oh my God! How can you think that's ever going to be not come out and?
So. And then, they had this guy, Agostino Abatello, was supposed to be the ringleader, but I think recent news has come out. It's actually Tony Montana is who the ringleader is for it. Yeah. He come from Cuba a long time ago. He immigrated in. He got a start in Miami, just went up the Eastern Seaboard there to Penn State to run that
Gotcha.
Drug ring up there. So
I saw something on Netflix. There's a new show come out. It's called Narcos Penn State. That's going to be good. I bet.
There should be. There should be.
You think this college has the most scandalous, awful thing ever in the history of sports? That was 2011, 12, 13, sorry, 2013. And now they're like, okay, we've said our mea culpas, things are looking good. And now what happens? Fraternities are dealing massive amounts of coke.
Yep, and having pledges, cut it and package it.
Yes,
as a hazing. You want the fraternity? Go cut me out a kilo and package it, please. So
State College is out in the middle of nowhere, but you got to believe there's more shit to do than cutting up illegal drugs and selling from the cartel.
You one would think, but apparently you'd be wrong.
The
So,
state of Pennsylvania has had some real rough week here. Also, recently, earlier this week, they arrested a guy named Eugene Horsch, who was apparently perhaps a serial killer in Philadelphia area. He's linked to
okay.
4 women who may or may not be they're missing and dead. He got stopped. I forget what the deal was, but he had a fake either FBI or DEA badge, and they confiscated. They got a search warrant for his house. They confiscated 600,000 photos, 100,000 videos, like several thousand other some sort of media, maybe some writings and drawings they made, all depicting the rape and murder of women. And some of those photos of the women were taken inside the house that they found all this stuff in. So it's like a movie. There's going to be quite the Netflix documentary about this one.
On the
and
way.
They found there's like I don't quite know how the setup was, but it was like a 40-gallon barrel that they somehow tied into the sewage system or septic system with tons of chemicals. And the idea they think is maybe they were emulsifying people and sort of flushing them away because the PD and maybe actually the federal thing, they were digging up the sewage system to kind of look for evidence as well recently. So,
wow.
This is quite the story. How do you amass that many photos? I don't have that many photos of my kids and stuff that people I love.
I'm not taking that many photos in my entire life. I'm 47.
No, right?
I'm not even approaching that many photos in my life. So,
and even it doesn't matter that everything's digital now. That's still a lot of photos. Like how many photos you got on your phone right now? Maybe a couple thousand. I don't know. Something like that.
Right.
How do you have that many 70,000 videos? What kind of storage does this guy have? Does he have a data center? That's crazy. So you look up this guy, Eugene Horsch. His dad was a film writer, director of like pornographic films that depicted rape and sexual assault and stuff like that. You want to see some photos of some creepy looking guys? Look at father-son combo there.
Yeah.
Boy.
Family tree. That's
boy.
Don't work at all.
No. It's this is the definition of evil and strange and Anyway, so again, off topic, but was the one you got? None of my
The other one, Jaden Daniels. Let's move on to the NFL. So, for those that don't know, Jaden Daniels sent a cease and desist letter to the University of LSU for giving away his number 5 jersey. Didn't like it. Not a fan. Should be his. They also wanted the replica Heisman Trophy that LSU gets because he won the Heisman Trophy for LSU. He wanted that back too. Big mad. Well, Jaden Daniels' legal team, they didn't stop there. They went after everybody. Like they served Five Guys restaurant. They can't be Five Guys anymore. They're 4 guys now. 4 guys now, not 5 guys. Okay. They serve the store of Five Below. It's $4.99 and below now. Can't be Five Below anymore because of Jaden Daniels' team. They're serving everybody, dude. It's crazy. The legal team is so busy. All the restaurants in the Washington, D.C. area have to implement the 6-second rule if food hits the floor. The 5-second rule is off the table now. It's the 6-second rule now. Because
to be safe.
Just because you never know, and they don't want part of the lawsuit.
These are all preemptive changes. Okay, gotcha.
Yes, right. Absolutely.
Now, can you clarify something for me? This is Jaden Daniels, the one number 5 at LSU, who was there for 2 years. Is that the Jaden Daniels who went 19-7 and skipped the bowl game the last senior season?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Because, like we talked about early, in the year, in the show, about how you can't get attached to these guys because they're only there for a year or two. They're kind of mercenary kind of thing. Like, I don't know, like a Yaxel Lendenborg. Like, I'm not saying it's bad or anything, but I'll take it. But, like, you don't have the ability to say what LSU does or does not with a number after winning zilch there, getting your coach fired. That was necessarily his fault. But 19-7, skipping the bowl game, I don't think you have much to say about who's going to wear what jersey. Tyrone Matthew said no one can wear 7 again. Okay, I don't know if you could do that. Leonard Fournette would say, no, you can't do that. Like, they hadn't done that. Those are some guys that put some time at LSU, and those are historically great players at LSU. So I think we're going to – if LSU, I would be like, Lane Kiffin sort
bent,
of said
dude.
as much. Then it's like just take off, get bent, right? Absolutely. This
There
is
was
not
a guy.
whatever.
There was a guy that went to Jimmy John's there in the local downtown DC area, ordered number 5 at Jimmy John's. Next thing you know, he had a dang lawsuit against him. They got him. They got him.
They got him. They got him.
They serve the NBA. Next year, they can only play 4-on-4. No more 5-on-5 in the NBA. No more 5-on-5. They served Adam Levine. Adam Levine, he's the lead singer of Maroon 5.
Maroon 5,
Can't be Maroon 5 anymore.
Oh, shit.
He's been served, yeah.
Is it Orange 4 now or what?
They contacted the band Nickelback because nickel is very close to 5. And so now it's pennyback or dimeback. Quarterback was immediately ruled out by Jane Daniels because he plays the position.
Right.
So that was taken right off the table, right? A good thing. They serve the U.S. government. Now a standard work day. You know, it used to be 9 to 5. It's 9 to 4 now. No more 9 to 5.
Awesome.
We're taking that right off the table. So
I'd get behind.
it's not all bad. They serve they serve minor league baseball. The Syracuse Mets and the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp was playing a game. It was rain delayed, so they moved it to 5:05 p.m. Served by the Jane Daniels legal team because they moved it to 5:05. Unbelievable.
That's why the $5 menu at McDonald's is now $4.95.
Yeah,
that's why. I didn't realize what
they served Alan Jackson because of his song. It's 5 o'clock somewhere with Jimmy Buffett. It's 4 o'clock somewhere now. It's not 5 o'clock anymore. He's been served.
Oh, and
he's been served the letter.
I read they're going to dig up Buffett's corpse and parade him out there like Big into Bernie's or Mitch McConnell.
The StubHub can no longer sell quantities of 5 tickets when you buy tickets. They've been served, and it's only quantities of 2, 4, and 6. No more 5. No more 5.
Makes sense.
As far as quantity.
Makes sense.
Then the last one here, and this hits near to our hearts.
Yeah.
The NCAA has been served by the Jane Daniels team. In preseason NFL and in everything and the spring games of it, they were able to use the 5-yard lines and the 50-yard lines. That's in talks. We'll see. Hopefully that comes to a resolution soon. That way when the regular season starts, they're able to actually use those yard lines. So that's still ongoing litigation. Hopefully they get that ironed out before the year starts. So,
makes sense. And to that point, doesn't LSU
Jane
have
Daniels.
Don't they actually put the 5 on the 5-yard line?
They put the 5. They put the 15, the 25, the 35.
Yeah,
so they're in deep shit over in Baton Rouge.
They're going to they just put like an X over everything. I don't know. The X yard line is 3X, 4X, XO.
So they've been busy, Dulaney. They've been busy.
I tell you what, he better win a fucking Super Bowl for all this shit, or he's never going to hear the end of this stuff, even if he does. But which is not going to happen, by the way.
Do you think anyone on his team took the time to listen to Jane? There's many battles you have to fight, buddy.
Right.
Many games you have to go out. You're out there fighting for your life, running around trying to win football games. There's many battles you can fight. Well, let's maybe not fight this one.
Right.
Over a school you only spent a couple of years at and won a Heisman for, and they were good to you, you were good to them. Why are we going after? Why are we doing this? Let's spend our money in better places, man. Let's take our energy somewhere good.
How about you think about using that energy to watch game film or do reps with your wide receivers rather than talk to your lawyers? That's what I said. Like he better really produce this year because that's going to come down on him. He's distracted by all this other nonsense, and
I can't wait for the signs at the away stadiums.
Oh my god, that's going to be spectacular!
They're going to be so good.
I wish they had game day for NFL games.
The game day signs at LSU is going to be awesome too. Don't think they won't, because they will.
Yes. So yes, indeed. Yeah, right away, probably right. Where's game day? Game week 1. I haven't looked yet. Do you know?
I don't.
Are they at LSU? They might be at LSU.
Games. That's probably a good bet, but I've not heard where they're going. First weekend.
They announced it. Maybe they haven't announced it yet.
That's got to be the best game of the first weekend, right?
As far as I know, it's one that makes sense.
Yeah. I would imagine it's there. There's
Let's just take a
nothing
look
going on
here.
Mercedes-Benz. There's no
Yeah,
big
it
game
is.
there.
It's in Baton Rouge.
Okay.
Week
All right. That
2.
makes sense.
Week 2 is obvious too. It's going to be at Darrell K. Royal Stadium. Ohio State travels to Texas. From then, it's just who knows, but that makes sense. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Week 1, week 2, and we're starting out early. Good football games is not just,
Yes, we are.
Just, your favorite team versus a tomato can. You get to play Oklahoma. You get to play at Georgia Tech on the actual road game, not a neutral site game in, Raleigh or something.
Which would be that'd be so NCAA. That'd be so, go play in like the Dome or something like that in Detroit.
Right. Yes,
just
exactly.
Stupid,
right. We're gonna play this game at let's see, Lincoln Financial Field. That makes sense. Tennessee and Georgia Tech, Philadelphia.
You guys, congrats, guys! You guys are going to Dublin the second
neutral
week.
Site. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, that's even better. Yeah, if you want to go to Dublin or you want to go to Philly for your to support your team, obviously, I don't know. Neither one sound great.
No, they don't. Be in front of my TV for either one of those.
Absolutely. What else we got? Is that's the ender of all enders, the 5.
I think so.
Five Below is my favorite one, by the way. I like $4.99.
$4.99 and below. And anyone that's ever been a Five Below, no, that's bullshit too.
Like, it's bullshit. Way over it's $5. All garbage. Right? Yeah, it even says out front. If they have stuff in the front of the store, like a $12 bedding for a dog and like $8 poo noodles, something like $5 Below.
Lots of stuff over $5.
Right. That's what it should be called. Lots of stuff over $5. That's what they're gonna change their name to. Or $4.99, I guess. Sorry.
$4.99, yeah. Don't get us served, Dulaney.
No.
Served. They're after everybody.
It's just jokes, folks. Just jokes. We're not here to cause a ruckus. We just did 86 minutes the ACC. We talked about ACC.
Out of the 86. About 20 minutes of that.
Right. Absolutely. So this is it. This is what we got for the ACC. We will talk about them during the season when we have to. There won't be a lot to talk about. We'll talk about some teams. Miami.
Yeah. James Franklin and Virginia Tech, if they wind up being pretty good.
That's more interesting. Yes, that's more interesting to me. This more interesting to me than what Clemson's going to do. We know what they're probably going to look like, or what Louisville's going to look like. Let me see what James Franklin's going to do. They're going to win. They're going to be in a bowl. Is that fair to say that minimum will be in a bowl game?
Oh, I think they'll be in a bowl. I think that's a good bet.
Barring an unforeseen catastrophic injury to Grunkemeyer, they're looking at a bowl game, which is a huge step up for where they've been, right? So who knows? With year one, with transfer portals, and they spent some money in NIL, we see what teams like Indiana has done. It's a bit of an outlier, I guess, but it's not impossible. And I bet that's what every AD thinks now.
Yes.
We're gonna get to next Indiana. Yeah, okay. No, we're not. No, we're not. No. That was elite football coaching, and they're gonna get better this year potentially. They returned a lot of people. They returned a lot,
and they got that Hoover kid.
Yes, right.
From TCU, who is fantastic.
Yeah. So who's not gonna miss a beat with that quarterback coaching? That's his best quarterback coach you can get in the country. And not to mention they gonna have a great defense. They're gonna be able to run the ball
again. We'll talk about them in a couple weeks.
We'll talk about it. There's our Indiana preview to the preview.
Yeah. Got to start thinking about gambling picks, too, coming up in a couple weeks. First weekend, playoff. That's going to be a big show. May have to break that up to a couple of days.
That's probably not a bad idea. No one's going to sit through 4 hours of this shit, although we could keep going indefinitely.
I could do it for a living. If anybody wants to pay me to do this, I'll do it all day, every day. I'll clock in.
Yes.
Yep.
I could put an 8-hour workday doing this every day.
9 to 4, not 9 to 5.
No, it's 9 to 5. That's 4. No, it actually ended up being 9 to 6. They'll fuck you a little bit somehow. It'd be 9 to 6. 9 to 5. You're not going to get out of that. All right. Well, this is Health and No Podcast. This is who we are. You see our names: Chris, Dulaney, Brian, Norton. Some iteration of that. What we'll see. ACC's wrapped up. Did a Big 12 last week. Buckle into next week's going to be less ADD focus. It's going to be SEC,
Yeah.
which again, there's no way we're doing less than 90 minutes on that. So, if you have some stuff to do and you want to be entertained with your headphones in or whatever, we're going to give you some time to do all the chores, whatever you need to do to be entertained.
Mow the yard.
Something to listen to, mow the yard. Yeah, mow 4 acres.
Yeah.
With the push mower.
Yeah.
You're going to have time.
You're going to have plenty of time.
We can distract you for a long time and with a lot of things. And we'll talk more sports. We'll talk more specific sports and more relevant topic to the SEC, I promise. All right. I got nothing else. You got anything else?
I got nothing. Fun show. This was a good hour and 30 minutes. It's amazing how relative time is. We're an hour and 30 minutes, and it's like we just started.
I couldn't believe it because when we were going, it's like we did 22 minutes. We didn't even start talking about the ACC. I don't think this time. I think this time is we're in like near a black hole or something like that. Yeah, so we're in a black hole because this stuff is slowing down somehow. But the clock keeps ticking, tick, 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 tick. Yeah, that's it. So promise we'll be back in a few days with some SEC focus. And I'm looking forward to that. I know, that's your conference, but there's so much to get into on that, and new coaches and players and dominating teams, and see if they can get a team back in the title game in the SEC. So lots to talk about, and we'll do that next week on HIWKP Podcast. That's it for now. Thanks for watching, everybody. Talk to you soon.